but fun fact, they practice with each other. Inexorable, he's gotten a lot of practice with Vindicta and Future, which is why Inexorable has been improving so much over time, and the winner goes up against the winner of Mute and Kelazur. But here we go, we have our next series, we have our round of 16 match. I will quickly update the title, the overlay, sorry. It's not the round of 32. Is the round of 16, and sporting in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our Costa Rican Zerg player, the Red Zerg representing License to Kill, LTK. It is EON. And spawning in the top left hand corner, not the first time he's off raced. We've casted plenty of his off racing, especially against Estrella, against Max Angel. Once again, flexing his Protoss. The American used to be Terran, but now he's seen the light. He knows how to win. It's all about the Protoss, representing Match Arena Esports. It is a Future. Now, for those that are curious, similar to Estrella, Future and Estrella, they off-race from time to time, and they off-race whenever they feel confident. Most recently, Estrella was off-racing against Inexorable. If you remember, in ESL Americas, Estrella was playing... Oh god, what was he playing? Protoss. No. Zerg, that's it. Estrella was playing Zerg against Inexorable. Now we see Future playing Protoss against EON. Usually this is a sign of confidence, and we'll see if that confidence is misplaced. If you remember, when we were casting ESL Americas, Future played Zerg, and he lost to Inexorable, and after Estrella lost, then Estrella switched to his main race. Then he took it seriously, you know, then he was like, okay, Inexorable, like, okay, I respect you, Papi, I respect you. We'll see if the same is here. Now, on the one hand, Future coming into this does get a lot of does off race quite often, and his Protoss is it's no pushover, is what I should be saying. But EON is hyper aggressive. So the question becomes, it isn't about Future and his skill with Protoss, it's about how experienced is Future at defending against all-ins. Because I guarantee you, EON is going to all-in at some point in the series, if not straight up in Game 1. EON is here to punish. Here we go. As for now, it is going to be the double gate opener here, double gate into Adept. So 2-gate Adept opener, very aggressive here out of EON. The way this works is that EON decided to delay his expansion. He delays his natural base in favor of Adept production. And he's going to be moving out across the map, and we'll see how much damage he can get done. Right now, it is currently a test of micro between EON and Future. Another claim by the Kala. True. Claimed once again. As Zelda is going to be shut down, at least initially. EON making more links. EON, of course, did confirm the 2-gate opener. The Adept has arrived, but EON, he ignores it. He's just going across the map. He doesn't care. The Adept does shade into the main, but we have Lings in position. Ling speed still halfway done. And EON moving out. This Adept, I mean, this is not a solid wall. Uh-oh. EON is going to be slipping in, and do we get a surround? Ooh, we force the Adept back, and we do get the surround, at least a pseudo surround. And nice auto stepping here from EON. He will shut down the Adept, and now Future's in trouble. We're going for the pylon, but Adepts, they're spawning in just in time. The Adepts, they have spawned in. Lings have to back off. More Lings flooding across the map. Future does pull back. We see Future force to fully wall off. And EON is still making Lings. Does catch another Adept. Up. Ooh, barely not. Does shade away. Does escape. Regenerating those shields. And EON is rushing into a lair. Very interesting. So fast lair here out of EON. Lair is on the way, droning up as well. Meanwhile, Future back at home, working towards Glaive Adepts. I think I favor Future. These Glaive Adepts are going to hit first. I'm curious as to what is going to be done with the lair, though. Are we going for a Lin Queen Nidus all-in? Are we going for Drop a Lord play? Are we going into 2-base Hydra? If it's 2-base Hydra, then this is a build order win for Future. Like, Hydras, they struggle quite hard, actually, against Glaive Adepts. So I'm concerned. I'm going to be concerned here. As EON is going to be pulling back. Oh, it is going to be 2-base Hydra. So Ling Hydra can do well against a standard player, against a player going Blink Stalker, but specifically against 2-base Glaive Adepts, against a Glaive Adept opener, I have to favor Future in this position. But we'll see. We'll see if we can catch out those Adepts. Not a bad round. Shut down one Adept already, soon to be all three. Yeah, all three Adepts do get shut down ahead of time. It's so important right now that EON makes sure that the Adepts don't get out of hand. That they don't hit critical mass. If they hit critical mass, then we're going to be in trouble. And yeah, even here, Lings are being shut down. We do rotate around. We're going for the Stalker. The Stalker up. Does not get the Overlord. Whew. Barely the Stalker does fall. Bearing in mind as well that with the arrival of this Warp Prism, we're going to be moving out with Mass Adept. And EON has cut worker production early on. Still only 30 drones, barely an economy. EON is massing up Hydras, but again, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced here. Adepts moving out across the map. Oh, no bracket on screen. Oh, my apologies. I will fix up that out of game screen, but here we go. The Adepts, they have arrived. They focus on the Hydras one after the other. You can see the Hydras, they melt here against the Adepts. And how many was that? That was 5 Hydras going down. But the Prism, oh my god. Future, a bit of miscontrol. The Prism goes down. We did leave it idle for 1 second too many. And EON survives. EON defends. Whew. And that's more than I thought would happen. If we had committed, if we had continued to push in and reinforced, then EON would be in trouble, but he holds. Does hold on. But I do apologize for not showing the bracket earlier. It should be fixed now. Should be fixed up. As we do see a Future just stabilizing back at home, working towards immortal production, working towards Storm. Storm is going to be ideal here against Ling Hydra. As you can imagine, all things light, Melt versus Storm. And EON is droning. EON trying to saturate here on 3 bases. Saturating, working towards 1-1. Building up his economy. I'm a little bit concerned here. Once again, EON, he is investing into Hydras here and there. So our drone count is still less than ideal. We're still in 44 workers. That's 2-base saturation. And that's because we're basically all in. But, like, I'm concerned because, like, we're all in, but we still have 1-1 on the way. Like, the upgrades, they need some time to really kick in, and we're just not ready for a longer game. Mortals looking exposed. Lings, they dive in. Nice force fields. Yeah, we stem the tide. EON forced to retreat. Storm about to finish. Shield batteries as well. We have the overcharge. And EON trying to make his way into the bases, but a massive storm! The storms, they connect. The Hydras, they take the brunt of the storms. And we're cleaning this up. We shut down the Lings, we shut down the Hydras. And again, EON is not set up for the mid-game. Not at all. He's being outscaled. As Future is on a solid 3-base economy, 4th base on the way. Preserves the High Templar. Look at the army here. Again, we only lost 1 Immortal. The High Templar stands strong. And EON's in trouble. EON, he needs time right now. And I'm not sure if Future's going to give him much more time. 2 more Robos, getting into a triple Robo production. Should be for a Mass Immortal. The reasoning for that is I'm sure Future is assuming that we're working towards Lurkers. Speaking of, Lurker Den has been thrown down. And we're already ready for Lurker tech. We are prepared for Lurkers. With all those Robos, with the potential Immortal production. EON does have to back off. EON now joining up somewhat, getting up towards 3-base saturation. Towards 56 workers. But is still being left behind. Looks like maybe EON was hoping that Future was going to go for a 3-base push, but we can see that Future is just taking up and probing. Bay is on the way, so it looks like we're getting ready for Colossus production into Disruptor. I mean, Future can kind of get into whatever he wants. Has been skipping warp-ins. Like, the Gateway Army is non-existent, but, I mean, we can afford to skip warp-ins. Can afford to do so. As the Prism does slip into the main, drones are going to be going down. We get 2, we get 3, we got 4 drone kills. Ooh. Say 4, we get 5, we get 6, 7. 7 workers go down, we get 8. Oh, barely not. 8 workers go down. Future pushing through the center of the map. And again, Future, the only thing he's lacking here is kind of a gateway army to support his force, to support his high-tech units. And here they come. Now, we did prioritize lurker production. Prism goes down. Nice pickup. We do have an observer. We do have detection. Yeah, storm on the lurker. Storm on the ramp. Oof. Yeah, the Hydras are zoned away. We're being a little bit trigger happy with the storms. Future force back. Again, if Future just had a line of zealots here, then it would be enough to break through. So Future has to retreat. Oh, that's a lot of Immortals. Get into Colossus, more Immortals, very robo-heavy composition. And EON is still trying to saturate, still trying to drone up. Has a decent base count, but outside of that, he's just having a hard time maintaining himself. And there we go. Now we have 10 drones on the way. Now we're starting to saturate. But because of the superior economy from the Protoss, Future is going to max out. It'll be the first 2 max. There we go. We can see Future moving out. Likewise, so is EON. Right through the center, up the ramp. And we do have position Future. Future nowhere needs to be. Nice storm, though. Yeah, Solar Storm on the Ling Hydra. Nova goes off. Ooh. Takes down the lurker. And we do get on top of the Colossus, so not a bad trade here for EON. Yes, we have to overextend as he takes down the final Colossus. Pulls back to the safety of the lurkers. Lurkers, they pop off here against the Stalkers. Nice shots. The Future, he has made it back home. He has arrived looking for surround. And do we have detection? And we have the one observer. The natural will fall. Again, really nice positioning here for EON, making the best out of this. And we're pushing into the main. Here we go. Future collapsing on the lurkers, and he should clean this up. Storms, they come in. We get a surround. We clean up the lurkers. And Future can keep on pushing from here. Again, barely anything left in the main base, going for a big Zealot warp in. And now Future is moving out. And sure, EON, he killed the natural, but EON lost his entire army. And what do we have at home to defend? We have soon to be 3 lurkers. 3 lurkers is not going to be enough. We have plenty of Storm. Plenty of Protoss. We don't even need the Storms or the Disruptors. We can aim move badly. Nova goes off. Big connection. Plus transfuse, but the Storms. We have Storms for days. Badly. And just mass Storm here on the Hydras. The final lurker goes down. And now there's nothing left to stop Future from pushing forward into these bases. Base after base will fall. We see EON desperately making some lurkers here outside of his natural. But there's only so much 3 lurkers can do. As Future is going for the fringe bases, he could honestly just keep pushing. Just keep pushing in towards the natural and the third and the main. But Future is just going for secure damage. Getting another hatchery. This is giving EON time to build up his lurker count once again. So he is getting back into lurker production. But as we can see, so far only 3 lurkers, soon to be 6. And we see Future rotating. We do have 2 observers. Just now popping out. Until we get our observers, we're going to be, I imagine, taking it slow. Here we go, the observers have arrived. Ooh, the concave of lurkers is solid. Take down 2 immortals. Future has to rotate instead, and EON, he's contained to 3 bases. There's no breaking out of this. The storms are going to be connecting. And again, there's just not enough support for the lurkers. The mass storm once again. And we're going to clean up the Zerg. GG gets called, and Future takes game number 1. GG. Again, a solid game there out of Future. EON just really having a hard time determining like how aggressive he wanted to be and how committed he wanted to be. We saw some early moves out despite upgrades on the way, and it's because that the early move outs were a little bit lackluster and our economy just wasn't ideal, so we couldn't sustain our losses. We mentioned before that EON is a very aggressive player by nature, and for EON to be forced into these longer games, like he can have a hard time keeping up with Future. But we'll see if EON looks a little bit more comfortable here in game 2. We're going to be loading in to Ghost River. Let's go. Ghost River coming up next. A much smaller map, very aggressive map as well. Very aggressive. Let's go. And can we force the ace match, or does it all end here and now? As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ghost River, we have our Costa Rican Zerg player, the Red Zerg representing Team License to Kill, LTK. It is EON. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the American, usually Terran, but now he's Protoss. He's seen the light, papi, representing Match Reno Esports. Leading the series 1-0, it is Future. Here we go. And we're going for, interesting, we're going for a 12 pool. Okay, a much more aggressive start here out of EON. Committing to a much earlier pool. Spawning pool is on the way. And we're going to be backing up the larva, making as many links as we can early on. As a reminder, the rush distance by ground on this map is quite small. It's quite short. There we go, 6 links on the way. Moving out. And Future likewise is going for a probe scouts. We'll get a read on the later expansion. Should recognize what's going on. Oh, we're pulling the boy. I was like, where is the expansion, by the way? It should be a 12 pool into a hatchery, but no, it's all, we're going all in. 12 pool drone pull out of EON. Future does confirm all of this, and he needs to wall off. There's a second pylon on the way. We do fully wall off with the gateway. No forge, but does fully wall off. Gonna need that zealot. But last, nothing in production. A bit of a greedy response here at the Future. The zealot is so delayed. Here we go, we collapse onto that gateway. They're going for the gateway, it's gonna go down. We break through the front line. We've made our way in. Zealot is gonna pop out, the boys have been pulled. The boys have arrived. Ugh, but a better position here for EON. Nice positioning out of Future though. Oh my god, wedging himself in between the pylons. Reducing that surface area, reducing the surround. The pylon is about to fall though. Is gonna open up that zealot. Once again, very nice control that Future does wedge itself once again. Oh, but probes are going down. Probes are going down. The zealot does fall. We collapse on the pylons, and we're going to depower this. We have one more zealot, but we get one. We're going to get the other pylon as well. The adept. It's so close, but it's not going to warp in. No adept, just the one zealot. It looks like EON has done it. EON, he's breaking through. One zealot remaining. We get a surround, and EON will force the ace match. GG gets called. EON ties up the series 1-1. GG. This is the EON we know and love. None of this macro. Mate, don't take a third. Don't even take a natural. Just pull the boys, Bobby. Pull the boys. GG, well played. Unfortunately, the SimCity was a little bit awkward for Future. If you remember, the reason why EON broke through was because the wall-off was not perfectly sealed, and the gateway that actually walled off was late. It was a late gateway, so it had very low HP, very low production on that gateway, so it was vulnerable. We focused it down, we drone drilled into it, and with that, we did break through. And this is what I assumed. Yeah. This is what I assumed here. For those that are curious, whenever players like Estrella and Future, whenever they off race, if they ever lose, they switch to their main race. So Alas, Future doesn't want to leave this a chance. He doesn't want to open himself up. So Future, he picked Protoss for game 1, he picked Protoss for game 2, and he's picking Terran for game 3. Just as a heads up. So after taking a loss, Future, he's like, I don't want to die. I don't want to lose the series here. So he's switching to his main race. And here we go. We're getting into it. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Crimson Court, we have our Costa Rican Zerg player, the Red Zerg, tying up the series 1-1, forcing the ace match, representing team License to Kill, LTK. It is EON. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent forced to play as his main race, representing Matcherino Esports. It is Future. Here we go. Again, forced to use 100% of his power. And I'm curious how EON approaches this. Now again, EON is a very aggressive player, as we just saw. Once again, pool first out of EON. Is going for a pool first opener. And we'll see where this takes us. We'll see if we go for a gasless build and go for a natural into a third. We'll see if we prioritize our gas instead. We shall see. So the chat catch up. The king of chat. But so far it is going to be a pull into hatchery. No gases yet. This could be into a third hatchery as well. We could just be going straight up gasless, but there it is. Never mind. We are going for just a delayed gas for EON. Our first link is going to be moving out. And the goal here is for these links to avoid the Reaper. Their goal here is to avoid the Reaper, get onto low ground, and delay the expansion, delay the CC. We'll see if we can. Can we delay that command center? Gas is being prioritized, links are moving out, and ideally this Overlord will spot the movement of the Reaper, so we can avoid it. Now Reaper is about to pop in. Overlord gets eyes on the CC. The Reaper's moving towards the left, and the Overlord confirms that there's nothing here on the right-hand side, so EON is going straight for that command center. Hoping to delay, maybe even force a cancel. As the links have made it, Reaper gets across the map. Now we realize what's going on, and we get on top of the SCV. Yeah, the SCV is zoned away. Boys are being pulled. We're getting on top of the base. But with the help of these SCVs, it looks like Future should be able to defend. And he will clean this up. Oof. Yeah, the Lings are shut down. And we did delay the expansion by a couple of seconds, but I don't think that was quite worth it. We didn't kill any workers. Very nice control out of Future. He preserves every single SCV. And he can focus across the map. Reaper not quite getting any damage done yet. Oh, my apologies. Sorry, got one drone kill. Up. One drone for a Reaper. Not the best trade for Future. Actually, a rough trade for the Terran. But overall, his expansion wasn't delayed for too long. Was not delayed. As Future's getting into his 1-1-1, a much more aggressive follow-up. No third CC in sight. Future wants to be active. Future wants to be in the face of his opponent. This could be the beginning of a Hellbat push. We'll see, as we should be seeing... actually, never mind. We're going for Marine production. This is a little bit different. I was expecting for the Racks to be making the Tech Lab and going for an add-on soul for Hellions, but no, this is very different. Are we going for a fast tank? We are. We're rushing into tanks. We're rushing into the medevac. It's going to be a very early tank drop with Vanilla Marines. This is going to hit very fast, very quickly. And the goal is to shut down the third. We'll see how this all comes together. Just a hyper-aggressive build out of Future. Meanwhile, Roach Warren for EON. Makes sense. He does like to embrace the Roaches whenever he can. Link speed did finish. Speed did complete, and here comes that drop. Here comes the drop we spoke about. And EON, he does like to cut queens, so we only have 3 queens, no 4th or 5th queen available, and very few links as well. EON could be in trouble here. I mean, it doesn't look like a lot, but that one tank does so much in the back line. We boost in. We're going for the queen. The queen gets caught. Lings, they come into support, but the queen is going to be targeted down. It does cost us all the Marines, but the Queen survives. Up! Oh, I spoke too soon. The Queen is going to get picked up in the end. We shut down the Lings. But at least we hold on to the base and we don't lose any workers. At least we are maintaining ourselves. Future going for another Queen. I won't quite get it. So it was 1 Queen and 12 Lings. I mean, that was 6 Lings earlier. 4 Marines. And here comes the follow-up push. Now we have a second tank. Now we have a second medevac. The aggression does not end. And because the tanks were preserved, they've yet to really siege up. They've yet to really prove themselves. We have Ravagers. We do have Ravagers. We're moving out across the map. We're going for a Ling Ravager all in. Future refuses to turn around. Do we have anything at home to defend? We have 1 tank. We have a tank on the high ground. We're going for a bit of a base trade. If we had the Ravagers at home, we would shut this down. The boys are being pulled. Oh my god. The boys are being pulled. We do force a pickup. Meanwhile, across the map, we're breaking through the front lines, but the tank is doing so much here on the high ground. We take down a Ravager. We deny the 3rd CC. Chaos does ensue. 3rd base under fire. Ravagers pushing in, going for the command center. Lings will force a pickup. Oh, can we get the tanks? We get 1. We get 1 tank, just barely. And we don't get the 2nd. But EON is defending. Future supply blocked. We have 2 tanks on the high ground. Banshee has arrived. And with the help of this Banshee, we have to retreat. It is going to be able to force back the army. Lair is on the way. And we may just drone. But Future still maintains his economy. Back to mining on the low ground. Army forced to come back home. Banshee's still wreaking havoc. Yeah, now we're droning. Now we're droning up, and EON did not do enough damage. We needed to get more done. The job's coming back in. Getting more drones. Likewise, Banshee going to be going down as well. We get 2 more worker kills. Oh god, the Queen getting so low. And now we're pushing. We have to push. The tank setup here is brutal. We can bow down the first tank and we can still get into the mineral line. EON can make this work. Banshee's racing back home. EON doesn't like what he sees. Takes out the Banshee. Not bad. And yeah, he doesn't like what he sees. Doesn't like the setup here. EON pulls back. I do think there was potential to get the first tank and then go straight for the mineral line, but alas, EON pulls away. And now he's stuck droning. And in this game state, I have to favor Future. Like, Future has got 1-1 on the way. He's got Stim, Combat Shields, 3rd CC about to finish. Future is a lot better set up for a longer game. EON has some catching up to do. As we do have the CC going to be landing, going to be mining through, looking to expand on the right hand side. Sorry, just saw in the chat. Who is EON? EON, he debuted back in 2012. He's been competing for a long time. If you're maybe unfamiliar with the NAC, then maybe you wouldn't be familiar with him. Meanwhile, the Wild's going to be connecting. No, they will not! The drop has arrived. Future knocking down those roaches. Efficient trades here for the Terran. Oh, do we get the medevac? Not quite. They're going to be unloading, going for the mineral line. Drones are going down. Still good damage for Future. Efficient trades. Is going to be forced back, but again, Future just keeping EON low, keeping his economy in check. Sniper medevac, but here comes the follow-up push. And again, Future fully saturated on 3 bases. Is fully saturated, going for a 4th CC. Oh wait, no, not even. But taking gases and working towards a 4th. Without Ling Bane, without any support for the Roach Ravager, you can see the Bio Army just stim on in. No fear. The surround is real though. We're coming from behind. Yeah, Future getting punished and pushing onto creep. And can we get the tanks? We have to keep pushing. One Wood Mine shot goes off. Nice drag. EON does avoid splash damage. Pushing forward, and he wants the tanks. He wants them, Papi. EON breaking through. He's completely all in. Massive mine shots. Voids are being pulled. And the vials, they will connect. They take down the first tank, but there's 2 more in the back line. Yeah, the tanks, they siege up. They do manage to siege. EON being forced back. He was so close to breaking Future. Alas, not going to be able to keep up. Yeah, the Bio Army stims on forward, and again, these are still efficient trade. There's so many Marauders here for Future. He's breaking through the Roaches, breaking through the Ravagers. And EON, he doesn't have the economy to keep going. He was committed. We clean up almost every single Ravager. As we take down the Queen. Queen goes on. Biles, sure they can connect, but reality here, we can take the Biles to the face. Future, he has so much momentum, rallying everything across the map, and it looks like he has broken the back of EON. EON did make Future sweat, did force him to go to the ace match, but alas, Future was the favorite player coming into this series. As much as we love the underdog story, EON, he just doesn't have enough. Oh, there are so many medevacs. More medevacs than there are Marauders, but regardless, we clean up the main force. And Future is going to keep on pushing towards the natural. Dust him forward, and again, we just barely have an army. We're down to a handful of Roaches. 6 Roaches left. We pull the boys! In a last moment of desperation, we want to try to hold on, Papi, but alas, there's too much Marine, there's too much man with gun. GG, and Future will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the quarterfinals. GG. GG, congratulations, Future will take this series. Did have some fun with Protoss earlier, but was forced to play his main race, was forced into the ace match. So a shout out to EON. EON is you know, more active on the ladder on these online tournaments. Hasn't reached as much success as players like Future or Estrella or Trigger in the, you know, big premier tournament scene. But, you know, to force the ace match out of Future is impressive. GG, well played. GG, well played. Congratulations to Future. And with that, we're getting ready for our next series. For the next round, I believe we should have an opponent. Exclamation mark B in the chat. Have a look at the back of yourselves.